So, that was a thing. Greetings, geeks and geek girls. It is me. I am back for the finale of Doom Patrol. It has been a wild ride, and how do they end it? Well, you'll just have to watch to find out. Spoiler alert, if you guys haven't seen the episode, then go watch it, then come back and tell me what you think in the comments down below. So, how the hell am I going to recap this? We pick up where we last left off, and we find out that most of the team were created with Niles trying to perfect immortality, which explains why he's lived for so long and why a lot of members of the team have conveniently lived for a long time. So that's a good way to tie that back in. There's tying in a lot of loose ends in this episode. But they decide to go their separate way. And Mr. Negative's like, not negative, Mr. Nobody's like, okay, I'm done with you. Boom. And he puts them all back. He berates Niles and then puts Niles back like, nobody wants to be your friend anymore. And so they go their separate ways. Jane and Larry, it seems like, are living together. And she's a drama teacher. Which was interesting. And he's perfecting working with the entity and like controlling him. Well, not controlling with him, but them together learning to control their power. Then we go to Cyborg, and Cyborg's just like taking down international crime stuff and being real negative with his father and having nightmares about killing the whole team still. So, fun stuff there. Then we find out that Jane talked to the head school guy, like Mentos school, and he knew, and he apologized and said that Niles did create a meta suppressor and that she could take it. And so she zips out of there, steals it, and uses it like a drug, like full on does like the heroin thing. And apparently it silences all the voices, good and bad. And while she's doing that though, we find out that Cliff, a very sweet moment, Cliff is just watching over her. Like, that's what he's spending his time doing, is watching Jane. And getting food for her from a food truck and just leaving it there. like not even taking credit for it. But which was sweet. But then the cool thing with Jane is that Katie starts to like wake up and get tempted, and then hears the my sweet baby girl voice. My sweet baby Kay. And she's like, Kay's like, ooh, who are you? And starts running after her, and you're like, shit. Then Hammerhead wakes up and is like, don't worry, Jane, I got this. And seeing Hammerhead trying to coax the little girl was funny. And then we see Mr. Negative. Nobody. Mr. Negative and Mr. Nobody. Mr. Nobody is all by himself. And he's getting drunk in the white space. And it's just... things are not going well. And he's starting to realize that maybe their revenge wasn't the best answer and that there's more to it. He even reads a review for the show saying that the ending was boring and that a villain was a one-note pathetic character. And he's like, damn it, no, they're right. So, right about this time, Ezekiel the cockroach reappears. And he's talking to Mr. Nobody. Because he thinks that he's God. Mr. Nobody's like, hey, I can use you to my advantage. You know what? We need another person. So he brings in Admiral Whiskers. Tying that loose end up too. And together they plot a scheme together. And they team up as villains. And what ends up happening is they kidnap Danny Street and put them in a painting. And then the whole team comes and is called in by Chumbawamba, which was funny. And I just realized now I'm going to have to go faster and skip over things because this is just going there's just too much to cover. So they all get inside of Danny, phrasing, who's in the painting. Niles' daughter is there, and they like split up to create a plan to grab Niles' daughter and then get out of there. And they find the way to, and Niles and Jane get his daughter, who is Dorothy Spinner, which is a very powerful comic book character. Look her up if you want to know more. And then oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention, in the painting, thanks to his daughter, the cockroach and the rat are like giant sized. They even make a kaiju reference. And so their plan is to use Larry and the negative entity to work together to like create a tear in reality, in this reality, then use Larry's nuclear powers to boost it and to like nuclear blast everyone to get them out of the realm. And the team will be protected because they are eaten by the cockroach, which was Mr. Nobody's and Vic's plan, because Mr. Nobody starts working with them because he has no powers now. For some reason, he doesn't have any powers, and except for maybe his narrative powers. So he got drunk, and Rita had to pep talk him back into narrating things, and they actually worked together to save the day. But I love it at the end where it's like the blast is about to happen, and the beard hunter, who's there by the way, and kind of being a redeemable character, weirdly enough. Maybe cast member in season 2. And he's just like, Mr. Nobody? Yeah, about your plan. They're gonna be safe because they're inside the cockroach. What about us? And he's like, oh shit. So that way they set it up so that they both could come back if they wanted to, or they both could stay out of the season if they wanted to. And the team, they all survive, but they get out of the cockroach, and the cockroach is normal size, so they're all shrunken down except for Larry. And seeing little Cliff like cussing, it's like, what the shit? Shit. And by the way, Danny was kind of destroyed by the accident, but Danny was left as a brick. And so Danny can rebuild himself slowly over time. Which that'll be cool to see Danny next season. Because please let there be a next season, because I freaking love this show. There's a lot more that happens, and we're left on a very ambiguous note. Like, we don't know what's next for our team. But if they get a season 2, which please, I can't wait to see what happens. I know I missed out on some stuff, but this was a really cool finale. I'd say it's arguably on the same level as satisfying as Game of Thrones, but I did kind of enjoy it maybe more. It was more absurd and what the fuck. Typical Doom Patrol. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Next time you see me will be for, I don't know. All my shows have ended. It'll be a surprise. Thank you guys for watching. Till next time and beyond. What am I gonna do now?